Fat man! Fat man! Fat man! What's up, Lucha Maniacs? Coming to you live from the Batcave because I couldn't come to you live from the ship because Norwegian Cruise Line's interwebs sucked dick. But that's a whole other story. Ahoy, mateys! Captain American Luchador is on board. Yes, I repelled some pirates. I did a lot of things over this past week. I got things to show. I got things to talk about. We're going to start it off with the show being sponsored by Midnight Smoke Shop at 3712 Pearl Road. They're open 365 days a year, 9 a.m. to midnight for all your smoking needs and accessories. Also got to talk about this. The American Luchador will be making an appearance at Toy Show number 18. Other guests include Danhausen Moose, who is the TNA Wrestling Champion. Captain Shoes from Major Pod, Brian Myers from TNA Wrestling, and Jason Baker. He designed the Fiend mask for everybody who would like to know. Also, before we get into things from the cruise, for everyone who missed out on the pre-order for Toy Hi-Yo turnbuckle pads, I will have what is left at the show, and they are $65 a piece, cash. $65 each. You could have saved some money. $7 by pre-ordering them. We got some cards to open. We got a cruise to talk about. I think I'm going to save that for next week's show. Maybe we'll get to it. I have been reading the deposition. The deposition, as they call it. Vince McMahon, you're a fucking moron. You did some really moronic things. And if you hadn't been a tightwad motherfucker, this would have never come to light. The flowing locks. Yes, the flowing locks. As you can see, my brethren are gone. The beard that used to hang out's gone. It's a totally different look for the luchador. More all-American. Not looking like a goddamn hippie. My mask actually fits me. It's not super tight on my head. Where do you guys want to start? Do you want to open some cards? Do you want to see all the swag? Let's do that. We'll start off with the 6-man 5 Alive cruise. It was a lot of fun. It was on Norwegian Pearl, left out of Miami, Florida. We'll talk about Miami traffic. And we went to Cozumel, Mexico. Got to see a lot of wrestling, a lot of rock. Here is my lanyard and ID card. Pretty cool. Got these little things and this little lanyard. I'm going to, hang that up on my stuff. Also, that a thing called Deck Wars where you got points. We pre-ordered, me and Mrs. Luchador pre-ordered some these are very well made baseball, softball jerseys, by the way. Our deck didn't win. Not for lack of us trying, but we were the Swordfish, which represented decks 4 and 11. So I'll wear this on special occasions. Let's see. Here's an interesting item. Let's see those signatures. We'll get to those in a minute, brother. 400 of these were made. These are micro brawlers. These are the Rocking Rager 5. Chris Jericho fighting the Electric Eel. I actually have these are the 5 Alive edition. I will have one of these available for sale at Toy-Hio. February 10th in beautiful Girard, Ohio. They're selling for, well, one sold for almost $200. The last one sold for like $157. I will have one of these available for $100 at Toy-Hio. Cash. 37K for the micro brawler. There's only 400 of those made. Here's another piece of swag that they gave us. They are, there's something in here. Rockin' Wrestling lunch boxes. Me and Mrs. Luchador each got one of these. Oh, maybe I'll have 2 micro brawlers for sale. Forgot that I had acquired 3 total. I don't know if Mrs. Luch wants to keep hers. It's entirely up to her, but I'll have 1 for sale. So of the 400, I have 3, baby. But these are pretty cool. Went it with a couple of these. Also, when they brought us the luncheon boxes, they brought us water bottles. Rockin' Wrestling Rager at Sea, baby. Keep hydrated. And then getting into turnbuckle pads for all you pores out there. We originally got 12 of them. Me and Mrs. Luch kept 2, 1 for each of us. I'll go over the signatures. Mrs. Luch had Bushwhacker Luke signing on the back. She thought the front was too full. Maybe he could have got it on here. I don't know. But these come out great. One will be hanging behind me to be viewed by all the pores. The other one will probably be hanging in my office at work. Well, Chaz, everybody send some thoughts and prayers to Chaz. He's still not doing the best. I'll go over the list of the people that signed these. Let's see. What else? Today I went to the flea market and I picked up a couple of things. I'm not a big rock fan, but Georgie Mateo gave me a deal on this Rock Later Edition Wrestling Buddy. This is a big one. Not like those littler ones. So, I'm like, I like the Wrestling Buddy, so I got the Rock. I also got a pretty good deal on this. This is the 1990s. Very well made with the back strap and everything. This isn't your Amazon garbage. Wish app. Mil Maracas mask. I didn't have this one in my collection. The guy who was selling it assumed because of the M, it was Rey Mysterio. I had to show him online who it was. But he gave me a good deal on it. And hopefully he passed on one of my cards to his son and he checks out the show. So your mask, I didn't get the kid's name that this used, well, he's an adult now that this used to belong to, will now be in the Luchador's personal collection of mask. Well, here's another interesting item from the ship. And these were usable $5 tokens from the casino on the ship. I grabbed a couple of them. We didn't do any of the actual casino games. We did some slot work. Did all right. Had a good time. Speaking of a good time, Nick Wayne, Kyle Fletcher, and Sky Blue were having the time of their lives. We were in the casino with them the last night. Kyle Fletcher is a heel, as we all know. He's part of the Don Callis family. Oh, and since Rick Fuck Money Fusselman didn't get any shirts made, I got my guy, Blue Line Crafts, to make me some Toy-Hio shirts with the same emblem that's on the turnbuckle pads. Oh, let's see. Triple H is in here. All proceeds from the tournament go to Chaz and the hospital. I don't know about that. Triple H, real Triple H is in here. Goddamn cripple fake. Thought I had done away with you. I don't think you have. The cripple fake is back. But I thought the casino chips were cool. All in all, it was a very good time on the cruise. But we did come home to some sad news. Our Pomeranian Chihuahua, Chi Rodriguez, Chi Marie Rodriguez, she's an older dog. She'd been sick for a while. And she passed away between 5 and 8 the night we come home. So we get home at 1 o'clock in the morning and get the news that Chi has crossed the Rainbow Bridge. That was my ice cream partner. I don't know if anybody else is going to eat ice cream with me the way she did with her helicopter tail, but kind of sucks. I mean, we knew, she was on meds and not in the best shape. She's an old dog. Trade Chaz for Chia. Damn, I mean, Triple H is getting rough. My mask is on crooked. There we go. I don't have the hair to keep it straight. Yeah, that really sucked. But the cruise was fun. The people of Cozumel love the American Luchador. If you're ever in Cozumel, Mexico, I recommend the Thirsty Cougar, baby. Ronaldo will take care of you. Super nice people, super friendly people. The island of Cozumel is very beautiful. We got to see some wild iguanas, all kinds of wild ass little lizards. The one thing that did weird me out about Mexico is the fact that there's a pharmacy every, 12 feet, and you can just buy Tramadol, Vicodin, antibiotics. Some of the weirdest shit, in my opinion. But I mean, hey, it's Mexico. Whatever you say, Bob. Pharmacia, yeah. It was interesting. We went to a private beach. I will tell you that the people in port where the ship docked were extremely pushy as far as trying to sell their wares to you. So we walked away from the port, got a cab with I didn't get the cab driver's name. He was a super nice guy, very informative, very talkative, bunch of pores. Telling us about the Mayan culture, etc., and so on. He asked us, did we want to do tourist shopping or did we want to do, actual shopping? So I said shopping, and he took us to actual downtown Cozumel. Lots of beautiful shops, lots of beautiful things. The whole time I was in Mexico, I did not buy a mask. I looked at several ones, but there was nothing that just I had to have. Oh, did you see the mill mask? Yeah, the guy that I bought it from was under the impression it was Rey Mysterio because of the M, so I had to show him on the interwebs. He gave me a good deal on it. It's a vintage 90s mask. It's made very well compared to the ones you would buy off eBay for $30, $35 now. But we're going to go over here in my mask collection. Yeah. I like them masks, But the cruise itself was a very good time. Few mistakes we made on our part. We got our money out of the Starbucks for sure. I bought the soda package as well, as you can see on my key card. And I drank probably 6 pops. So that really didn't pan out. I didn't get to see Matt Cardona. He said I looked rough, broski. I was a little seasick at the time. But he was the first guy to sign my turnbuckle pad, actually. He approves of the new tattoo. Oh, I think you guys, it's kind of hard to see with the light. I'll post a picture. I mean, I already posted a picture of me and Matt. But well, this was our first cruise, and it was Mrs. Luchador's first plane flights. She did very well. I'm dealing with people at the airport, TSA, etc., and so on. Well, that is what it is. But we had a good time. Ms. Luchador, if she's watching, she's going to love this. Washi, washi. The food was great. The only thing over the whole week that I did not care for, I love me some boat cheeseburgers, by the way. Whatever the fuck they were doing to these cheeseburgers were amazing. Third day, maybe? I don't remember. I sent a picture to Chaz. I tried their biscuits and gravy at the breakfast. No bueno. No bueno. Happy, washy, washy. Yes, that's it. It's sprayed with sanitizer. The people on the cruise were so nice. The employees of Norwegian Cruise Lines. Very friendly. They're very helpful. The food was great. You wanted anything, they'd get it for you. It was a good time. I would do it again. I would definitely do it again. I met a lot of cool people on the ship. Ran into a friend of mine, James Taylor, who's also from Cleveland Herald, JT. Weird as fuck to run into him as the ship set sail. They really are, Jets. They were the nicest, and about 85% of the food workers were Filipinos. But these people, they weren't like people here that pissed off and just angry. But it was a good time. I would do it again. I'm going to open some of these cards. I hope to hit a Matt Cardona. I hit a Matt Cardona, I'm stopping. If I don't hit a Matt Cardona, I'm stopping and leaving one pack full. These are cruise exclusive cards. Hopefully I hit Cardona on the first pack because these are selling pretty well on eBay too. Well, I got a Speedball Bailey. Jerry Lynn. I don't know who this even was. Eleanor Carrigan. Foos Fighters. Oh, here's the backs of these cards. And a CJ Perry. These all have fun facts on them. Didn't opt for the CJ Perry photo opportunity. I did get to see the Dudley boys wearing an FTR shirt, by the way. Oh, speaking of Dudleys, Devon amongst Giants. The Valdettes. Not really a big fan of them, but, different taste, I guess. Oh, there's somebody else coming up. Bully Ray. RJ City is funny as fuck. This dude was awesome. Yeah, there was drunken spelling bees. There was concerts. There was comedy shows. We're going to go bankrupt the cruise line. Nice. Bushwhacker Luke. Red Cup Jeff. Fozzie. Michael Oku, who beat Chris Jericho and is now the Ocean Master. Marcus Bagwell. He was super nice too. We're down to, let me try this pack. I don't know who the fuck this is. Johnny Lawasco. Them Halen, we heard them playing. Guardians of the Jukebox kicked ass too. Great cover band, whatever they are. They were kicking it. Steph DeLander. Missy Hyatt I seen, but she was surrounded by people. She looked like a walking fucking skeleton. Didn't get a picture with Missy, and I'm not sad. I'm just honest. Jennifer, what's up? Yeah, Chia, that really sucked. It was a fun time. I recommend you and Tony doing it. Paul Wright. Georgia Thunderbolts. Nocturnal Affair. Dave Spivak Project. Grain Grell was super nice too. First time I remember meeting him. I think I had in the past at a wrestling show. Oh, I'm down to 2 packs. I'm keeping one sealed. Which one? This would be 1. This would be 2. Which one should I open, guys? 1 or 2? 1 or 2, because 1 is getting saved. One of these packs. Tony is lame and won't. You're thinking pack 2? Everybody else put it to a vote. Jets is saying 2. One more 2 and we'll go with it. He'd have a great time and the food was good. It was really good, actually. God damn, I need me some fucking boat cheeseburgers. For all my Patreon members, all the lovely locks of the American Luchador, for Patreon members that are at a pores level or higher, you can get yourself a lock of Luchador's hair. Pack 4. There's no pack 4. It's 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Now, the hot dogs they had on that boat were all beef. They were really good. Quarter-pound all beef dogs. They had the main buffet was open 24/7. They had Oceanan's Pub, where you could go in and sit down and order bar food, burgers, hot dogs, spinach artichoke dip, curly fries, onion rings, things of that nature. Chicken wings. Everybody loves chicken wings. 1 or 2. Come on. All right, 2. So pack 1 will be put away. Come on, Cardona. I don't remember her wrestling. Oh, I lucked out. Thank you. My mask is crooked as fuck. Giselle Shaw. Mad motherfucking Cardona. There we go. Bullet Boys. Reliving high school there. They kicked ass live. Brad Williams. I really wasn't a fan of Brad Williams' comedy. There, I said it. And the Mountie. Jacques Rigaud. All right. So I got my Cardona card. I have to message somebody from the group. He offered to send me a Cardona card. And I'm going to send him pictures of the ones that I have. So the next time I see Matt Cardona, I'll have him sign this as well. Matt is always a super nice guy. His jokes fell a little short. Yeah, he claimed that he wasn't political, right? That kept saying it. Sort of like the guy you meet and he's like, I'm not racist. I got black friends. That guy, his show was not good at all. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was funny as fuck. Did Mrs. Luch okay with the Starbucks? I know Duncan is a preference. Well, I'm going to tell you that Tam and, oh my God, I can't remember the guy's name. Tam was the one female working there. Tam and, his name will come to me. They knew us by name. As soon as we walked up, we abused the bejesus out of that Starbucks. We got our money's worth out of the Starbucks. The soda I fucked up on. Seriously drank maybe 4 pops. I don't know. That one was thought I'd drink a lot more Diet Coke than I did. I just didn't. Stay in the Haven on an NCL private pool and restaurant. Ooh. Yeah, they had we were on the Pearl. The next Jericho cruise leaves out of Boston. It is on the Gem. Excuse me. So I don't know. We'll see. I think Mrs. Luch would be a little more receptive had we not had the Chia issues, which really sucked. It's a really shitty thing to come home to. Yeah, we didn't buy the drink package. I had a few people give me drinks, probably 4. We drunk 2 drinks in Cozumel, both of us did. One at Thirsty Cougar. And then at the private beach we went to, San Francisco Beach. Restaurant there was really great too. They were super friendly. The food was good. Pharmacy right behind us when we were setting. If you needed some Tramadol or Somas or what, I don't know, fucking a Z-Pack. Maybe you're trying to fight off some infection. But I don't know. We ever do a cruise again? I definitely maybe we'll take advantage of the drink package. We definitely got to have whatever coffee packages because we drink a lot of coffee. We seriously we fuck Starbucks up. Let's put it that way. I drank so much coffee each day that I had to switch to their like milkshake frappuccinos or whatever. They ain't even got no coffee, like the vanilla bean cream, and the strawberry one was amazing. And their dragon juice and all that. I just couldn't twitchy, couldn't drink no more. Oh, what kind of desserts? Well, Mrs. Luch has pictures of those. All the desserts were really good. All different cakes, pies, danishes. They had omelet stations, made to order omelets, for breakfast, and then the brunch, lunch, dinner. No, I think it was just lunch. Now, maybe it went into dinner too. They had, made right in front of you crepes. Amazing. Amazing. The only other thing, Mrs. Luch got some, they called it tortilla soup, but it was basically liquefied, refried fried beans. Not so good. But that soup, the biscuit, was a flaky, dried out hockey puck, and the gravy was like water with no flavor. But everything else was just, it was good. It was very good. Very happy. Nothing to complain about. For surf and turf, for prawn, they had prawns and shrimp available. I didn't see any lobster. I'm not a seafood guy, so it really didn't. I gravitated towards like the prime rib. They had that one night. Roasted turkey breast, they'd slice it off at the carving station for you. And of course, I grabbed the cheeseburger to go with it. Their seasoned fries were amazing too. I'm a simple American, Just give me a goddamn Yingling and a cheeseburger. I don't need all this other shit. They did have pizza, yes. I tried it a couple times. My favorite one was the mushroom and cheese pizza. It was very good. Pepperoni was good too. They always had cheese and something else. The mushroom, cheese, and onion quesadillas was very good too. I had that one lunch. The soft serve ice cream machine was hit or miss. It was worse than McDonald's. It would be working and not be working, but they had hand packed, regular ice cream too that you could get. Yeah, it was a good time. It was good. They had these garlic aioli linguine. It was fucking good. It wasn't just. It was like almost like a fried spaghetti. That makes sense. That was amazing. And then the following night, Mrs. Luch loved it. The following night they had it. I think the first one was linguine. Then they had it with like angel hair pasta or something, and it wasn't the same. Oh, I got the chicken curry. Yes. That was good. I can't remember the tortillas, the Indian tortilla pitas they had. Those were fucking amazing. They were making those fresh behind the line. What are those called, Jets? But they also had a Japanese, Chinese, and fusion restaurant that was included in our package called the Lotus Garden. We only got to eat there once. It was another one where you went in, sat down, and you ordered, and they made it to order. They're fucking pork pot stickers. The fried rice, amazing. That was included, except the sushi. They had a limited sushi menu on there. It was cheaper than it was on the mainland, obviously, but and I'm a Kintaro guy. So actually we went to Kintaro the other day with Rob and Jessica, and I only got 2 Nissans. The rest of everything else I got was hibachi. Yep, the mozzarella sticks, Mrs. Luke. Wait, so you've been on the Pearl, or they have the Oceanans on all of them? Yeah, their Reuben sandwich was amazing too, Jets. I was surprised. I'm like, oh fuck it. Oh, you've been on all of them? All right. Yeah, my only complaint, I tried getting a hold of them yesterday. I'm gonna try again tomorrow. I put in a claim ticket. I only complaint, only real complaint. There was some other luchadors after we went into Mexico. I seen some other guys running around in a luchador mask, but from the start, I was the sole luchador on the boat. Lots of cosplay and costumes, lots of nice people. The Ruben was really good. Um, the funny thing is, man, most of these people were drunk, and we'd hang out with them for a couple hours. We never exchanged information, but I had a few people because Mrs. Luch wasn't in the Facebook group. I've had two people today that we interacted with on said cruise that have sent me friend requests, and I accepted them because they were super nice people. But it was a really good time, man. Other than the Chia thing, it was great. I mean, even with TSA stealing my let me get my plug in for my sponsor, Midnight Smoke Shop at 3712 Pearl Road in Cleveland, Ohio. They're the official sponsor of the American Luchadors YouTube channel and his Twitch channel. For all your smoking needs and accessories, you can go get your Hulk Hogan's Hulkamania Strawberry Ice. TSA stole two of my brand new in the box. This is on the way on our way to Miami. Two brand new in the box, sealed, factory sealed vape pens. And they stole three of the four of my butane lighters. And then I went on TSA's website, and they say that butane lighters shouldn't be stored in a cargo hold. Okay, well, that I didn't know. But I think they scanned my luggage, my check bag, and my belt was in there. So they opened it and they felt they had to take something. But they missed my one vape pen or vape stick, whatever the fuck you call these things. Where's it at? My favorite, thanks to Mr. Higgins. This one was still up new in there too, and they left it. Lighters must be in the check bag. I have the thing from TSA where they took them. Yeah, I seen a couple undertakers on the boat, bunch of underfakers. But yeah, I was so mad, Jets. And it says nothing about vapes. So on the way back when we left Miami, I carried this vape, butane lighter, pack of cigarettes, a can of Copenhagen long cut straight, this lighter. That's still got fluid in it. It's an old Browns lighter. I'm not a fan of the Browns anymore, but this is a vintage 90s, 98, 99. When the Browns come back, I'd had it forever and used it a few years ago, and then found it in a bunch of my shit I was going through. I threw all that stuff in my baseball hat, and it went right through TSA. We didn't go to the cigar lounge. My buddy JT spent a lot of time there. We went to the casino a couple nights. We actually come out on top because we're not degenerate gamblers. First night we both put in 20. I walked away with 100. This is $20 a piece, and Mrs. Luchador walked away at 200. The next time we went, well, I actually walked away with 90 because I went up to, where did I put them? I went up to the, when I was at the cashier cashing in my thing, I bought two of these for, their actual currency or whatever you want to call it. These are playable chips. But I bought two of them and stuck them in my pocket to bring home. One to keep and one for a buddy of mine that I know will get a kick out of it. But Then the final night we were there, like I said, Sky Blue, Kyle Fletcher. I mean, Kyle Fletcher plays a fucking twat. He is a twat of a heel. He is the nicest fucking, and he is a kid. He's like 24 years old. Monster of a kid. But he is so nice and just genuinely friendly. I mean, and Nick Wayne, he was having a hell of a time. But they're in there gambling with us, and we actually lost that night. So was there another night we hit though? I don't remember. We went at least 2, maybe 3. It's a blur. You don't sleep much on the ship. And now the concert's starting 11:30 at night. 24-hour buffets. We're just roaming the fucking boat, you know. And then I was fighting pirates too. So I mean, yeah, that was an all-night affair. 3 different nights I had to fend off pirate attacks. But yeah, anybody that's thinking about going on a cruise, I can tell you from my experience with Norwegian Cruise Lines, pleasant experience except the internet thing because I wanted to go live from the boat. I was told by them paying that much money that I'd be able to do so. And well, obviously, guys, I didn't get to. Oh my God, one of the other things too. I never was a fan of John Morrison and or Johnny Cruz, Johnny TV, Johnny Impact, Johnny Wrestle. I don't know what the fuck he is today. I think it was Johnny Cruz on the cruise. John Morrison, we all know from the WWE, and Ty Valkyrie. I originally come across her AAA Lucha Libre, I think, and then she was in TNA Impact, right? Anywho, they're pretty nice people too, and they made a movie that I'm going to do a review for. I tried to do one on the boat the night after we watched it. It premiered it. Drip, drip, Johnny, drip, drip. Johnny Mundo. John Morrison's actually a nice guy. He really is. So is Ty Valkyrie. I mean, she plays a twat waffle. She's a hell of a heel, but interacting with them. They made a movie. I don't think it's available anywhere yet. They premiered it on the boat. The Iron Sheik Massacre. It is like all the absolute best and worst of 80s slasher films. Imagine Chucky with wrestling. It's only 25 minutes long, but it's probably the best 25 minutes you'll ever spend. It has, John Morrison, Ty Valkyrie, Killer Cross is in it. And they filmed this a while ago. It's back when Cross was still bald. Who else is in it? I can't even remember. But it's like based around the YouTube show, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it involves the Iron Sheik, obviously. It's called the Iron Sheik Massacre. We'll let it go at that. I was just enthralled with it, and they had it playing on channel 20 on the ship. And I would put it on, and Rhonda's like, we just watched it. So I loved it. But it was a good time. I recommend. Tony, quit being a lame. Go on the cruise, brother. I'm not sure if you and Jennifer drink, but even if you don't, I mean, we weren't drinking. I had a couple drinks. We had a couple drinks in Mexico. This next one is going to. I'm over here fucking trying to sell Jericho cruise tickets. I mean, it's not cheap. Don't get me wrong, but it was fun. Jericho cruise is going to. I need the 2025 one. It's in allow. Come on, you piece of shit. Jericho Cruise 6, not sex, 6 on the beach. January 31st to February 4th, 2025. It is going from, it's saying Miami now. It was saying Boston earlier. The coast of Miami, Mexico. It's supposed to be on the Gem, not the Pearl. Yeah, the people were talking in the chat that it was going to be leaving out of Boston this time, but now it looks like it's, on the official site, it is saying it's leaving out of Miami as well. Speaking of Miami, I posted a food review. I haven't posted the hotel review. I've got a lot of videos on my phone. I just ain't had time to post them. We got a lot of shit going off here. Matt Higgins, what's up? If you tuned in earlier, this will be the third time. This show is brought to you by Midnight Smoke Shop at 3712 Pearl Road. They're open 365 days a year from 9 a.m. to midnight for all your smoking needs and accessories. Check out Midnight Smoke Shop. Yotel Miami, because when I heard it was going to be in Boston, they actually have one in Boston. It was going to be departing from Boston. Yotel Miami, for people that are like me that get just frustrated with people, is a great place. You can check in 110% by yourself, make your own key cards. You don't have to interact with anybody at all. It is a high-tech, I guess the term you would use, hotel. Everything's like ultra-modern. It was clean. The interactions with staff were very friendly. Everybody that was working at the one in the hotel in Miami was Cuban, but they were friendly. My only complaint about the hotel in Miami, they have room service robots. But the rooms are ultra modern and clean and sleek, and the shower was great. Speaking of showers, I'll get on that in a second. My only complaint was the breakfast. I'm not going to give them a shitty review over it. Maybe it's just how they do their thing. The room was decent price. It was cheaper than the Hilton by over $100, and it was nice, if not nicer, except we didn't get our free breakfast. But I'll be taking advantage of that at the Hampton Inn by Hilton in Girard, Ohio next Friday night, or Friday night into Saturday morning. Our breakfast was $63. Me and the Mrs. Luch got pretty much the same breakfast. You got 2 eggs, 1 piece of toast cut in half, 6 chunks of potato, and a meat. Toy Hi-Yo! I also added a glass of grapefruit juice and a Cuban cup of coffee. Anybody knows about Cuban coffee? It's a little bitty cup like this, like a little teacup, super strong. And it was $63. I should have walked around the corner to the Cuban place. It's open 24/7, and the name is escaping me. I posted on TikTok or Instagram the review. They're open 24/7. They were super friendly. It was a clean place. The Cuban was amazing. So I'm sure the breakfast would be amazing. Mrs. Luch got chicken fingers, which is her usual go-to. And then she carried them around in her goddamn gun bag. Tom Tim, what's up? She carried them around in her gun bag. Forgot to eat these snacky snacks she had wrapped in a napkin in her gun bag. Come back from the cruise smelling like chicken fingers. They got run through the washer the other day. Tom Tim, we're on here talking about the Jericho cruise and the fun we had, and it was just a good time in general. I generally enjoyed it. I'm glad Mrs. Luch, because this was all her idea, contrary to what most of my friends thought. Mrs. Luch living on the edge with chicken fingers. Well, she did expand her horizons a little bit. She tried a few different little things on the boat. But, her go-tos are pancakes, and the one time they had raisins. Was it raisins? It was raisins in the pancakes. She picked them out before eating. She wouldn't get a fucking made-to-order omelet. She took the fucking big tray of scrambled eggs and got her a scoop of it. I'm standing every time in the made-to-order omelet line because I want to put what I want in it. It does have good taste. Chicken fingers, turkey sausage, just the usual stuff. But it was a fun time. She gets chicken fried rice, just all her usual, just the usual. Of course, I'll be honest with you. At San Francisco Beach and Cozumel, she ordered her usual chicken fajitas. What else would she order? But the food there was really good too. So, We had lots of coffee. Lots. I was getting the twitchies. I was getting the twitchy witchies. It's like I said, Matt, we had to switch it to the non-caffeinated drinks from there. I think they call them Frappuccino. I don't know what the fuck Starbucks calls their garbage. It ain't a milkshake. It's a bunch of crushed up ice with flavoring in them. But they were good. The strawberry one was my favorite. The vanilla bean cream, it was all right. But my go-to is the Americano. And I had a couple extra shots of espresso to it because I need it. But other than we had about a 12-hour period where we both was experiencing seasickness, no fault of the cruise, obviously. We'd went through a pretty rough storm out there, and the boat had got to rocking. And well, I was in the Army. I wasn't a sailor, so really wasn't my forte. So I'm walking around the deck like this. I'm holding on to all the rails. Oh, I thought I was going to die. And we went back to the cabin. We slept for a couple hours, and we got up. We felt rejuvenated, a little woozy, but not the way we were. Because if that had been that whole cruise, I'd been like, oh my God, I got to get off this fucking boat. For the 4 days, and to have one of them, about a half of it was pretty shitty. That's not bad. It's not bad. I enjoyed it. The plane ride, she did well, Tony. I was surprised. And both times on our landing, I go, we're going to get a 2 or a 3. For anybody that's flown, you'll get the initial douche, 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 as you're setting down. Both times we got 2. We flew out Frontier, who's like rapes you on the checked bags, but that's a whole other thing. We flew back American. The seats weren't as good, and Mrs. Luchador, we were right behind first class, so they had a divider. We were in what was considered first class on Frontier. We were right up and could see the flight attendants. I mean, we were like sitting in our row, and the flight attendants were literally right there. There was one row in front of us. We could see them sitting in those jump seats. And that made her feel a little better because they weren't reacting. We got a little turbulence. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. But American Airlines, I prefer American Airlines because, well, they give you a free snack and a free drink, non-alcoholic. But you can buy alcoholic drinks. Their check bags are about half the price. People are super friendly because Frontier, leaving out, we couldn't check our bags. We couldn't even print our bag tags until the earliest we could do it was 2.5 hours for our flight. Now, our Miami flight coming back home, the ship docked and we were disembarking after breakfast. I think we walked off the ship at about 8:30. Went through customs and everything. Our flight didn't leave till 9 o'clock that night. So we had a lot of time. We went to Rhonda, or, Miss Luchador found this place, Jungle Island, which was entertaining. And there in Miami. So we took an Uber over to there, and it was right near where we docked. Miami driving, once again, lots of honking and screaming at each other. Just fucking insane. Traffic laws, speed limits, common courtesy, nothing means anything in Miami. So we went over there and hung out and got to see a lot of parrots. The place started as a parrot sanctuary, and they have other animals. Sloths and fucking these weird little monkeys and all kinds of other birds and snakes and all that shit. Flamingos really do. Been told on the boat by somebody. The flamingos smell horrible. For all you people in Parma, take them things out of your front yard. If you knew what them fucking they smell like wet chicken shit. It's gross. It's fucking disgusting. They fight with each other. Just not good. We got to pet some goats and feed them. They had some fucking pigs. I don't know what else they had there. But that was a good time. Except the fact that a can of Well, when it's $5 a can, we'll call it soda because I can't remember his name. The one got at work there heard me and Mrs. Luchador saying, well, let's just get a pop. And he come running over, Pop, where are you guys from? He turns out he was from Pittsburgh. And he said he hadn't heard it forever. He'd been there for a few years. He was fucking, I don't know. He told us what he did. We've seen him doing the interactions with the sloths and everything. Anywho, it was $5 a can, and Mrs. Luchador got a Jahada's fruit punch pop, which I've seen at Dave's Micardo. And it was $7.29. So, you know, at least I got a Diet Coke for my $5. One of the other things too, I can tell you on the island of Cozumel, they don't have building inspectors because there's no handrails on anything. These stores that are super clean, not knocking the stores, but where they've ripped out walls and etc. If you've ever been in, you know, in the construction or seen something like you have the floors are at this level and then they've ripped out a wall. So, and then there's going to be a dip like this, right? Where they ripped out a wall down to the concrete floor. They don't even fill them in and patch them. So you're like tripping over shit. That was interesting. You got to look where you're walking. No handrails of any kinds going up down these steps, you know, just fucking big Luch is walking out like this with his shot knees. But it was a good time, guys. So Mrs. Luch seemed to have a good time. Everything except the chia thing. So she didn't complain. Sucks to come home to Chichi Marie Rodriguez. She was a good dog. She was my ice cream buddy. But yeah. Other than that, it was fun. Cartels don't need the ADA. Oh, speaking of the ADA, I ever go on a cruise again, I am going to take full advantage of this. We've seen one. You had to get me going, didn't you, Bob? One service dog who was 110% not a service dog at all. It was a semi well-behaved dog. And I'm using the word semi well-behaved. But they had one of their fucking fruity ass vests on it and all the patches. Oh, speaking of which, I just knocked over a bunch of wrestling figures. So on my carry bag that I carried my wallet and everything in, I got my Jericho Appreciation Society, the sunglasses Mrs. Luch bought me, a Jericho keychain, Danhausen patch. But here's my favorite. Do not pet, do not distract, because I'm working. Oh, and look, here's another one of those water bottles. But see, the Luch carried all his gear like this for fighting pirates and whatnot. And then I could open this up. Oh, no, the fake service dog come from, I think they're from Wisconsin, actually. I've seen them in the Facebook group. That dog was fake as fuck. Mrs. Lucha got me this fly ass. These are all American, baby. I'm looking fucking good in these. I could turn them like this so I look like Google-eyed Johnny. Yeah, fucking Johnny, where are you at right now? You're fucking calling me when you know I'm in the middle of the fucking ocean wanting to bullshit with me. But, you know, America. But this officially will be my cruise vacation travel bag. I'll add more patches and whatnot to it. Mrs. Luch carries one of these every day with her equipment in it. I just carry I have a bigger 511 tactical bag that I carry as my man purse in and out of my truck with all my garbage in it. But you know, we kept cards handy. There's actually cards in here for passing out to folks, things of that nature. But I'll just leave that hanging up here for the next vacation. I'm not sure where it's going to be, when it's going to be. But no, this fake service dog was a semi-well-behaved, I don't know what kind of dog it is. I don't want to put the person on blast, but it was not a real service dog. Anybody was on the cruise with me, it's in here. If you know anything about service dogs, it was not a service dog. If you don't, I'll educate you on it because it was not a service dog. It was a semi-well-behaved pet. And I stress the word semi-well-behaved. because it wasn't all that well behaved. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, Penelope is not a service dog, but she is more well behaved than that. It would wild out a little bit and they try to rein it in. They're going to be, I'm just going to, I've heard it all out of the service. Well, they're not machines. Well, no, you say they're medical equipment, so they should be a machine. But other than that, we had a great time. Tony, if you're still in here, we'll take Jennifer on a goddamn cruise. Jericho cruise. 7th, you can start booking. You got 4 days, baby. Be a goddamn good time. Awesome shirt. Fuck Money Fusselman didn't get any Toy Ohio shirts made this time, so Blue Line Crafts hand delivered these to me. Oh, I'm telling him, Jennifer. Speaking of which, the American Luchador will be making an appearance at Toy Ohio Toy Show 18, February 10th in beautiful Girard, Ohio. Guests include Danhausen. Everybody knows Danhausen. Jason Baker, the guy who designed a lot of the props and masks, including the Fiend mask for Bray Wyatt. Brian Myers, tag team partner. Well, sometimes tag team partner, but co-conspirator on the Major Pod with my boy Matt Cardona. He'll be there. Captain Shoes from Major Pod will be there, and Moose, who is he still currently the TNA champion? He was last time I checked. Toy Ohio 18. Tickets available at the door. The Luch will be there. Will you? Come buy my junk. Things I'll have for sale there will be the official micro brawlers from the 5 Alive. There's only 400 of them. Come buy one for me for $100. It's cheaper than eBay. Speaking of Mexico, though, we didn't see any. We're on the island of Cozumel, but we only seen a few dogs. No service dogs on the island of Cozumel that we've seen, but we've seen any chihuahuas. So next time I go, I'm going to take full advantage of the ADA because I've seen these people who are not crippled, not getting pushed to the front of the line for autographs and everything. So when I sign up again, I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm a little fucked up. I'm bringing my fucking dog. Midnight Smoke Shop for Christmas. Blue Line Crafts does some amazing stuff. That's my go-to merch guy. Check out my link tree. Why does this mask look so fucking crooked? Check out my link tree. You want to order a Luchador shirt? You want to order a Luchador coffee mug? I forget what else is on there. I know shirts and coffee mugs are on there. Blue Line Crafts for all your American Luchador needs. And if you need something custom made, contact Blue Line Crafts directly. They do one-offs, and they don't charge $100 for a one-off. They're a lot cheaper than everybody else. Blue Line Crafts is the way to go. And if you have any smoking needs, Midnight Smoke Shop. Open 365 days a year at 3712 Pearl Road. Follow them on Facebook. They give away, to all you poors out there, they give away $25 worth of shit every fucking Friday. He does have high C shirts available, yes. Me and Mrs. Luch got a few of them. Bob, you gonna leave those up for a while, the high C shirts? Did you and Daddy Jennifer get the I sent them with Mrs. Luch, the Luchador on the high seas cards? They're always available, Blue Line Bob says. But I know I sent you guys a couple of cards. I'll send Tony one too. I didn't think. I said, well, this is for Jennifer, and Jennifer's dad. Probably should have said Tony one too. Sorry, Tony. It wasn't a slight, but I thought about it after the fact. I didn't want to give a lot of him out before he went on the cruise. And then I'm like, yeah, probably should have sent Tony one too, whether he wanted it or not, because it was sort of rude not to send him one. I'm like, here, hand deliver this to your father-in-law and your wife. Don't you keep one. Fuck you. You know, no worries, we'll share. Maybe if he agrees to a cruise, he can get it. I got you. The cruise was fun. It really was. And I'm glad Mrs. Luchador seemed to have fun too, because it was all her idea. But yeah, so I'm gonna go and carry. I just shook everything. I got a big box of stuff I prepped before the show. I'm gonna carry downstairs. They got a price for Toy Ohio, February 10th, Girard, Ohio. Oh, he doesn't take anything down from the site. That's good. For anybody that joins the Patreon, the next 10 Patreon joiners, Cardona, you ain't getting any of my hair. You already got some of my pubic hairs, baby. You join it above the pores level, you'll get a card and a lock of the Lucha's hair. I don't know if the Lucha's going to grow it out anymore. Well, I do like helping out. This is a serious note. I do like helping out the kids. Locks of Love. Anybody that wants to grow their hair out, it's the way to go. Wigs for Kids are a bunch of pricks. They charge the poor cancer kids to give them wigs. Locks of Love, just the opposite. I'm going to drop off the rest of the hair, but the next 10 people, I got a little thing set of my long ass hair set aside that I will send them. Would it be considered a relic? Is that what you would call that? A luchador relic? Promise there's no pubes mixed in. Diamond painting. I'm going to put your cards on the corners when it's done. Awesome. I need a picture of that. Speaking of which, everybody from the cruise, I got 200 more YouTube subscribers. So anybody I met during the cruise, etc., and so on, I had my picture taken with a lot of people, and we didn't exchange information. It's an artifact. Send them to the Facebook page, and I'll post them. I don't know if you can post to my page, but if you send them to me via Messenger on the Facebook page, I will post them. It was a whirlwind. It was a lot of confusion. It was this, that, and the other thing. I had a great time. Mrs. Luch seemed to have a great time, and that's all that matters. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to go into 2 more things before I get off here. I'm over an hour. Well, that's all right. He gets a card every time I get new ones made. Where was I going to go with this? I want to go with the first one. Mrs. Luchador, you know, anybody that's a wrestling fan out there, and if you're into this, you probably are some sort of wrestling fan. You've heard the chant. He deserves it, or she deserves it, whatever. Mrs. Luch definitely deserved it. It was shitty coming home to Chichi Rodriguez, but maybe it was for the best. I don't know. If she could have held on a couple hours, then again, we'd probably been rushing her, attempting to rush her to the emergency vet in the middle of the night, and that just become a whole other thing and more disappointment on top of. And it sucked. She will be home with us soon. Mrs. Luch took her to be cremated. And yep, when we redo the living room, which is our next project, we have a few animals that are cremated in urns. I have to make shelf big enough for the animals, and then my big urn that's right over in this glass cabinet that Matt Cardona signed for me about 1.5 years ago that my big ass will be in when I'm done. So it'll be the urn area. But before I go, next week we'll dive into the everybody get online because I printed it out. The law firm of Luchador, and Stein. Rob will get a kick out of that. This right. Oh, I'm holding it upside down. Janelle Grant versus the World Wrestling Entertainment Inc., known as World Wrestling Entertainment LLC. Vincent K. McMahon and John Laurinaitis. They're the defendants. This is some reading right here. 67 pages, baby. Everybody read up on it, and we'll talk about it next week. It'll be fucking epic. Vince McMahon, suck a big wiener. Maybe somebody ought to take a dump on you, you fuck. And getting back to the deserves it, I got to touch on one thing wrestling related. You know, it's supposed to be a wrestling show, but we go off on other tangents. CM Punk, you piece of fucking garbage. You deserve it. You deserve it. Fuck you, CM Punk, you piece of shit. Till next week, everybody have a great time. And remember, fuck CM Punk.